Today I'll dive into the intriguing potential of Buggy the Clown and the chop fruit he consumed. Let's unravel the mysteries behind Buggy's unexpected significance in the One Piece story. Buggy has been part of One Piece from the early stages, being the first devil fruit user Luffy encounters. He's now emerged as one of the 4 emperors, and he's anticipated to play a pivotal role in the story. The chop fruit that Buggy ate is believed to have a significant part in the upcoming narrative. I'll delve into some fascinating theories regarding its future potential. In this video, I'll provide a detailed analysis on Buggy and the chop fruit. If you agree with these insights, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have other theories or thoughts, please share them in the comments. Be warned, this video contains spoilers up to the latest episodes, so if you're not caught up, tread with caution. Alright, let's dive in. First, let's clarify the character of Buggy the Clown, the current 4 Emperors member who ate the chop fruit. Surprisingly, Buggy made his debut way back in Chapter 9, which is included in Volume 2 of the manga. When you think about it, he's quite a veteran character of One Piece. And interestingly, Buggy is the very first devil fruit user that Luffy encountered. Being the second devil fruit user introduced in One Piece seems like a setup for an important role, doesn't it? Even from that time, Buggy was revealed to be a comrade of Shanks from their apprentice pirate days, hinting at his potential significance. However, Buggy was defeated rather easily back then, so honestly, I never expected him to become so involved in this story. At that time, Buggy was portrayed as a complete side character with a high level of comic relief. He reappeared in Logtown, but his role was minimal, and he became recognized mainly as a comic relief character. After that, Buggy didn't involve himself in the story for a good while. But surprisingly, Buggy reappeared in the main story, in the legendary Volume 25, sharing the cover with characters like Shanks, Luffy, and Blackbeard. His appearance on the cover and in a few pages of the main story was quite mysterious. He didn't say anything too important, so many readers wondered why he was featured so prominently on the cover. Next, Buggy appeared in the Sabati Archipelago during the conversation between the Straw Hat crew and Rayleigh. It was a huge shock to many fans when it was revealed that the ship Buggy and Shanks were on belonged to none other than Pirate King Gall D. Roger. Amidst all the other characters, Buggy's re-entry into the story was nothing short of astonishing. Imagine the Buggy, known for his comedic antics, actually a part of the Pirate King's crew. His appearance during that conversation marked a turning point, leading to his reappearance in the Impel-Down arc, where he wreaked havoc alongside Luffy. Although it wasn't too surprising given his mention during the conversation with Rayleigh, it was still a clever narrative set up by the author, Oda-sensei. In Impel-Down, Buggy displayed a mysterious charisma, leading a group of fierce prisoners and escaping with Luffy. On their way to the Summit War, it was revealed that he was a former crewmate of the Pirate King and a brother to Shanks, catapulting him to instant fame. Although Ivankov called him a blotch on history, despite his motley crew and charisma, it was still surprising when 2 years later, he emerged as one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Who would have thought that the seemingly minor character Buggy would rise so high? After that, his significant actions were highlighted much, and the story rapidly progressed to the Wano Country arc. Following the end of the Wano Country arc, Buggy made yet another surprising appearance, this time as one of the 4 emperors. Everyone was baffled as to how Buggy achieved such a rank. Turns out, Buggy's assistance in establishing Crocodile's new company, Cross Guild, led to a misunderstanding that he was the boss of Cross Guild, thus elevating him to the status of a 4 emperors. Just like when he became a warlord, Buggy continues to be a man of unfathomable luck. If luck were the only measure, he's indeed 4 emperors class. We definitely can't take our eyes off Buggy's unexpected moves in the future. Now that we've briefly revisited Buggy's character, let's delve deeper into the chop fruit that he consumed. Here's a fascinating theory. The chop fruit, just like Luffy's gum fruit, could be one of those devil fruits that bears the name of a deity. You might wonder where this idea comes from. It's not immediately obvious unless you've been paying close attention. There are 2 main clues: the commonalities between Buggy and Luffy, and the presence of a certain god in the story. Let's start with the similarities between Buggy and Luffy. They may seem like opposites, but they actually share a surprising number of traits. First, consider the circumstances under which they ate their devil fruits. Remember how Luffy ended up eating his? Shanks' crew had stolen the gum-gum fruit from CP9, and Luffy accidentally ate it at Makino's bar, thinking it was a dessert. Buggy, too, accidentally ate the chop-chop fruit during a conversation with Shanks after stealing it from an enemy ship. The parallels are striking. Stolen from an enemy, Shanks nearby, and eaten by accident. Beyond that, Buggy and Luffy have significant connections through the people they've encountered. Take Gaiman, the former pirate stuck in a treasure chest whom Luffy met in the East Blue. He's only interacted with Luffy, Nami, and Buggy in the entire One Piece narrative. Both Luffy and Buggy tried to recruit him, and he took a liking to both of them. And there are so many more connections. Rayleigh and Shanks are mutual acquaintances. Buggy has partied with Luffy's brother, Ace. Alvida, the first pirate Luffy ever defeated, is now with Buggy. And today, former foes and Impel Down escapees like Mr. 3, also known as Galdino, along with Crocodile and Mihawk, are with Buggy. These characters revolve around both Luffy and Buggy, connecting them in the narrative. Moreover, both possess a natural charisma that attracts people, and interestingly, both become 4 emperors around the same time. Even their innate talents seem to mirror each other. The biggest surprise is the initial concept for Luffy and Buggy. Several initial settings were prepared for these two. One involves Zoro, a member of Luffy's crew. It appears that Zoro was not only planned as Luffy's comrade, but was also considered as a bodyguard for Buggy. This means there was a possibility of Zoro becoming an enemy. Of course, the specifics of how Zoro would have ended up as Buggy's bodyguard are not detailed, so it's hard to say for sure. But this hints at something significant. The fact that Zoro was intertwined in the plan suggests that Buggy was envisioned from the start as a character who would be involved till the end of the story. And there's another astonishing early concept regarding the devil fruits. Buggy's chop-chop fruit could have been eaten by Luffy. Eiichiro Oda, the creator, wanted to give Luffy an incredibly silly ability. So, the ability to split apart and fight, which ended up with Buggy, was actually considered for Luffy. Remember the scene in Impel Down where Buggy stretches his hand out for an attack, reminiscent of Luffy's gum-gum pistol? It seems Oda had envisioned Luffy fighting in a similar style with either the gum-gum or the chop-chop fruit. However, this hasn't been confirmed in the SBS, so it remains a rumor. If this theory holds and Luffy had ended up with the chop-chop fruit, it's possible that this fruit could have been depicted as a human fruit, mythical Zoan model, Nika. Therefore, it's speculated that Buggy's chop-chop fruit also carries the name of a deity. So, what god could that be? The conclusion is that it's the name of an earth god. There are 3 elements suggesting that Buggy's chop-chop fruit carries the name of the earth god. There are the names of the gods mentioned in the Skypiea arc, the rules governing the chop-chop fruit's abilities, and lastly, Pangaea Castle. Let's break them down one by one, starting with the gods from the Skypiea arc. In a flashback from ancient Jaya, a sacrificial ceremony was depicted where the great warrior Kalgera's daughter was about to be sacrificed to the god Cash. During this, Kalgera's daughter Moose claimed, "I am about to be taken by the sun god." Interestingly, an official fanbook has revealed a connection between this sun god and the sun god Nika, who is believed to reside within Luffy. This suggests a potential link between the gods worshipped in Jaya and the devil fruits. Beside the sun god and Jaya, there are also mentions of the rain god, forest god, and earth god. You might wonder, why rule out the possibility of the rain god or forest god? The connection between the chop-chop fruit and the earth god becomes clear within the second and third elements. Let's move on to the second element, the rules of the chop-chop fruit's abilities. This was first revealed during the Impel Down arc. Buggy can split his body and move the parts freely, but there's a catch. His feet must always touch the ground. This condition hints at a relationship between the chop-chop fruit's abilities and the ground or earth. It's not a stretch to believe that there's some foreshadowing here by Oda, thinking the chop fruit to the earth. It's not a stretch to believe that there's some foreshadowing here by Oda, linking the chop fruit to the earth. Furthermore, there's a well-known earth god named Gaia. Born as a child of Gaia, believe it or not, entities like Poseidon and Uranus exist. And in One Piece, these very names are used for the ancient weapons. Luffy, who carries the spirit of Nika, is close buddies with Poseidon, also known as Shirahoshi, and he can hear the Sea Kings. And something we shouldn't forget is the possibility of Luffy having consumed the chop fruit. Diving deeper, in Indian mythology, there's a deity of earth named Prithvi, which translates to the Expansive One in Japanese. Now, turn your attention to Buggy's appearance 2 years later when he declared himself one of the 7 warlords. Wearing a bright red cape, spreading his arms wide, he was flaunting his chop powers to appear vast. Buggy's look is, without a doubt, fitting for someone called the Expansive One. Now think about the significance of the third element, Pangaea Castle. Pangaea in Greek means all lands, referring to a time when continents around the world were connected. So right now, the one massive continent called Pangaea is, in essence, broken apart. And guess who resides in Pangaea Castle? The gods of the One Piece world, the highest-ranking celestial dragons, the 5 elders, and the almighty Imu, whom even the 5 elders bow to. It's pretty much like saying gods live in the Pangaea Castle. The castle's current location is atop the Red Line. Translated to Japanese, the Red Line means Red Soil Continent. But there's a bit of a mismatch in this translation. With such a massive wall, why is it the Red Soil Continent and not a Red Soil Wall? So, the Red Line might have been a larger singular continent in the past, essentially called Pangaea. However, a user who consumed the chop fruit and carried the power of the Earth deity might have fragmented the land, shaping the current Red Line. Linking this to the shape of the Red Line in One Piece, the name Pangaea Castle, and the chop fruit harboring the deity of Earth, it all seamlessly connects. So, there's a good chance that Buggy might awaken his powers and transform into a godly form in the future. Now, let's speculate on how Buggy might shine in upcoming events. Straight to the point, it's believed that Buggy will awaken his abilities in the final arc, possibly even manifesting the Conqueror's Haki. Again, this is all speculative. We've seen numerous similarities between Buggy and Luffy, and intriguingly, Buggy has this uncanny ability to attract and lead people. This could very well be indicative of the King's potential. Buggy did manage to rally the escapees from Impel Down, and his continued popularity suggests he has this magnetic power. From Oda's writing style, Buggy's role as comic relief probably won't change. So, I'm heavily betting on a scenario where Buggy accidentally releases the Conqueror's Haki in a state of shock or surprise. Even if he awakens his abilities, I believe he might just end up disassembling the crowd or nearby objects, maybe leading to a flashy circus-like battle. Classic Buggy. No matter how strong he becomes, Buggy's essence won't fade. However, if his awakened ability affects the atmosphere or ground, making them fragment, could undermine a certain individual's power. And that's Blackbeard's Tremor fruit abilities. If you can disperse vibrations by fragmenting the air or ground, well, there will be no earthquakes. Seems like the final battle's layout is getting clearer. It's very plausible, given their abilities' compatibility, that Luffy and Buggy could team up again to take down Blackbeard. Lastly, judging from the similarities between Buggy and Luffy, there's a chance Buggy's father is a world-renowned criminal. Given all the parallels drawn and the potential to manifest the Conqueror's Haki, it's likely that his father is a big shot. What if Buggy, like Shanks, was picked up by a Roger and his crew at God Valley? The only notorious criminal there at the time was Rox. If Buggy and Rox share a bloodline, it would set the stage for a pretty intriguing twist, wouldn't it? So, I've been considering it like this, but what do you all think? That's all for today. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we'd be happy if you could support by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching till the end, and as always, see you in the next video.